Welcome back. In New Brunswick, the Mi'kmaq chiefs have released a report in response to another study released a year ago. Back then, the New Brunswick Systemic Racism Commissioner did a report on systemic racism in that province. However, the New Brunswick chiefs say that it's simply been collecting dust. Chief George Ganesh of the Nadowa-Ganagik First Nation joins us now. Chief Ganesh, thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely. Good to be with you today, Dennis.
What are the concerns that you have with the Commissioner's report?
There are many. I guess one of the main ones would be that it's been a year since the, I guess you'd call it a redacted report, was released by the provincial government, and no action on any of the recommendations. We'd had the opportunity partway through the work that the commissioner was undertaking to share some of our perspectives and our concerns, and she'd actually shared, I guess you would call it a draft of what it was that she was going to present to the provincial government. And many of the things that she had proposed to present were cut out of the report. So, you know, it didn't have the teeth that we were hoping it would have. And it seems the entire process was micromanaged.
Right. Can you walk us through some of the events surrounding systemic racism that led to the Commissioner's report? Absolutely.
But it was... I would say with confidence that the primary ones that had brought things to a head were the 3 deaths of Aboriginal youth in the province, 2 of them by police officers at gunpoint, and another that was killed in a hit and run. Young gentleman. You know, from our perspective, what we've seen, the investigation and the court situation that followed, no justice. There was no justice for that young man, for Brady Francis. So that's, and then you had, I guess as follow-ups to the 2 shootings, there were coroner's inquests, and both those inquests had found that those deaths were homicides. So, you know, you have an initial report, policing report saying, no, these were justified. And yet you have 2 coroners follow-ups that were saying, no, these were homicides. These could have been prevented. They should have been prevented. And so, you know, here we are, you know, a number of years later, the Commissioner's report released a year ago, these events that had precipitated this, you know, it's been going on 3 years now.
Yeah, the Mi'kmaq community has been calling for an Indigenous-led public inquiry into systemic racism for a while. In 2020, though, the Premier of New Brunswick stated a public inquiry would take too long and be unnecessary. Are you hopeful that an Indigenous-led public inquiry could still happen?
From our perspective, we would say that's the only process that will work. The government of New Brunswick, you know, they had referred to other reports being done in the past and access to other recommendations, but none of those recommendations, excuse me, had been taken up by government. Even the recommendations from the TRC, the calls to action, pardon me, the calls on the province of New Brunswick were not actioned on. It was more of a, okay, New Brunswick saying, okay, these are our recommendations to us from the TRC. This is what we're going to do with them. Nothing was done in partnership. Nothing has been done in partnership. Nothing continues to be done in partnership.
All too familiar story there, Chief. We'll have to leave it there, but appreciate you taking some time for us.
Absolutely. Very important issue, and this is just the, again, we're not going to let this go. Thank you very much for your time, Lolly.